Dear friends, this week we'll be reading the Torah portion of Shoftim, and actually today is Rosh Chodesh, so a happy Rosh Chodesh, beginning of the month of Elul, and we should have an incredible month. In the portion of Shoftim, and today is our inspiration series number 124, where we try to get inspiration for our daily life, especially in the hardships of this pandemic that's happening to us and around the world. We find the fascinating mitzvah and law where the Jewish people were told that they have to at some point appoint a king to be above them. For many years, at the beginning of the Jewish people's existence, we did not have a king. But at some point in the time of Samuel, the prophet, we got our first king, King Saul, and then we got King David, and now the kingship since then belongs to the family of King David, the tribe of Judah. And the Torah says, Som tasim alecha melech. You should place upon yourself a king. Why all of a sudden, in the middle of our history, do we get a king? Why wasn't it important to have at all times a king? And there are many reasons given. But here I want to talk about a message that resonates with us as well in our day. The Torah is telling us there's a time when we have to pay attention to place upon ourselves a king. The word melech, mem, lamed, chaf, we find that word turned around and used elsewhere. When Bilam, the non-Jewish prophet, was hired to curse the Jews and get rid of us totally from this world, pull us into oblivion, and we were told what was the power of Bilam as a non-Jewish prophet, that he knew the moment every day when God questions the existence of this world, and he knew that moment, and whatever he said during that moment, especially something negative against someone else, it happened. So he used to curse people, obviously for hire. He was hired to curse people's enemies, etc., etc. And he said a word, and it happened. So the question was, what was he going to do to the Jewish people? And we are told he would have said, Kaleim. One word, get rid of them. Kaleim has the same three letters, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, but the opposite way. What does Melech stand for? What does Kaleim stand for? So Mem stands for Moach, mind, brains, intelligence. Lamed stands for Lev, heart, emotions. Kaf stands for Kaved, the third body part in a person, which is the one that digests all of the food that goes through the person, comes through their Kaved, through their liver. And here we find the secret to success in our lives, success as a Jewish people, and at some point we have to have a king to remind us of this, and that is that if you want to be successful in your life, you want to go to sleep every night, feel satisfied about your day, that you put in a good day, you did the best you can, you were as productive as you could, instead of wasting time and being full of negativity, being around negativity, causing negativity, lazying, making the wrong choices. If you want to feel not only your day, your life was one that had that satisfaction. We want to make sure that we as a people are moving forward as a global people in the general world over generations. You have to follow the path of Melech. Always let your brain lead. Start with knowledge. Knowledge, decisions, understanding. The brain is very objective. It listens to things and doesn't let your emotions get involved, and it sees things clearly, can get to the truth, what's right, what's wrong. Especially when you open up the Torah and you use your mind to understand the Torah, it's clear what is the right thing to do, what is the wrong thing to do. Once you're clear in your mind, then now pass it on to your heart, to Lev, to your heart. Now start feeling emotional. You realize someone is good. Start desiring a relationship with that person. Create an emotional connection. Don't let your emotions wipe away your logic and intelligence. Let it be built on your logic and intelligence and what's right and what's wrong. To stay away from what's wrong, to do what's right. Lev. And then kaved, and then digest it and let it become part of your actual living. That is success. Those people who follow that, like we're told, Chacham einav b'rasho, a wise person, his eyes are in his head. Those people see long term and usually lead successful, happy, satisfying lives. And that's what the Torah is, to direct us to follow that path. But then there's another path. kalem. Start with your liver. Let's go after what I like, what I desire. Let's go after what feels good at the moment. And then you get emotionally attached to those things. And we live in a world today where there's a lot of substance abuse and other types of addictions where something makes us feel good, and then we start, or it's an exciting moment, then we start getting emotionally attached to it, and then we use our brains to figure out how to get more of it and how to fool the world and lie to the world and hide things from the world to be able to move forward, to have these things I love. That's a curse. That's the end or the beginning of the end. Don't follow Khalid. Don't be driven just by what feels good at the moment, because your life will be a constant cover-up of things. You'll never go to sleep satisfied, and until you get the next high, whatever it is, you'll feel devastated. So success is som tasim alecha melech. Place a king upon yourself. Follow the way that works. Not just a king, a person. In your life, follow the path of a king. Knowledge, discern right from wrong, good from bad, what's true and what's false. Get emotional about it, get attached to it, and then execute upon it. And you'll have the most blessed life. So I want to wish you Shabbat Shalom. Wherever we are, we can make this happen. Actually, now we have more time to think and contemplate about these things. We have less chance to run after just the momentary desires we have because we're isolated and quarantined, and we are discouraged from just being around people and in places. And God bless you. Have a good Chodesh, a good life, a productive life. We love you all. Candlelighting time in Montreal, 7:32 p.m.